Welcome to episode 47 of Suplex Biddies. The boys are back at it again. Myself, Andrew Hunneman, C. Jones, Diego Galvez. How are we doing tonight, guys?
We're doing.
Yeah,
We're hanging in.
love the hat, Diego.
Thank you. Feeling
Is that available on couchsports.com?
it's a
Couch Sports, yeah.
Couch Guy Sports, and
You fucked up my joke. All right, never mind.
It wasn't as wise as Yoda, but we can continue.
Okay, that's fair. So tonight, we're again episode 47, reaching out to the stratosphere of wrestling, and Jones is snickering because he's being a little chode, but that's fine. I can see him. You gonna go dark on us today, buddy, or how we looking?
No, we're good. We're
Okay.
the lights are working.
So tonight's episode brought to you by Couch Guy Sports as well as Shocked Energy. You ever hit Wednesday, midweek, that hump that you just can't quite get over? Feeling tired? Feel like you can't focus? Focus. See, I already did it, buddy. Because you asked me 2 minutes ago. Well, we understand that feeling. We understand it so well that Suplex Biddies is brought to you by Shocked Energy. What's your favorite flavor, boys? Did we figure it out yet?
The watermelon for sure.
Watermelon? I think the watermelon's the best one.
Diego's is green apple, but he's taking a business call. This is what happens.
He's a CEO. That's what happens.
Kid misses
Sorry.
1 week.
Sorry.
Kid misses 1 week for business and taking business calls in the middle of a Zoom. Let's go.
He's a CEO of the company. It's all good.
It's only taken
Shocked
47
Energy.
episodes for me to do so.
Shocked Energy is a drink made by gamers for gamers. All their flavors come packed with 180 milligrams of caffeine. So not quite a small coffee, but you're just about there. It's going to give you your little boost. Going to help you focus and keep you razor sharp to perform at the top of your game. Sounds pretty good, guys. I don't know if I might have to buy 13 boxes, something. Their formulas are designed to specifically give you high energy boost when you need it, while ensuring, is this thing right? While ensuring, my PDF copied wrong. Their formulas are designed to specifically give you high energy.
This is comical.
It is, isn't it? I
While
copied the
ensuring to avoid the jitters after too much caffeine consumption.
Why is
Go
that
on.
balanced?
Carry on to the next paragraph.
I'm gonna fix that. Okay. Well, head over to shockenergy.com and use the promo code CGSN today for 10% off your order. Check out their green apple flavored box or even their watermelon flavored box. Oh, and don't worry, they ship worldwide. That's right, worldwide. Get Shocked Energy today and let us help you gain absolute focus and peak performance.
Give me Harry Potter glasses, Hunneman, please.
Yes,
You
please.
can read.
I'm just surprised. I guess the PDF didn't work. That's my fault,
mean,
guys. I
PDF
wasn't ready.
didn't work. Your fat fingers, the phone. What's next?
No, it's just the PDF. I didn't copy it properly, so we're fine. But it's a good product,
Very good
isn't
product.
it?
Highly recommend.
Alrighty. So, how we feeling, guys? Do we like what we saw in the wrestling world this past week?
Not from WWE, no.
Elimination Chamber. Did you guys happen to get a nice little rewatch, or were you able to tune in during, I don't know, noon on Saturday? Was it a little weird? Did you like it?
On a grade of A to F, I give it a capital fart. That's how bad it was. Wasn't a fan.
Oh, the whole
I
thing.
didn't even tune in. I
Wasn't a
just
fan.
watched the highlights.
Wasn't a fan.
Would you
Just
be
watch
a,
the
would
highlights.
you be a fan of them trying to do something during the afternoons
Yeah, that's not
every so
my
often?
issue. That wasn't my issue with it. My issue was the card itself was absolute dog shit.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it a little bit more than seemingly you guys, but what do we think so far? Obviously, we saw Bianca Belair is now going to WrestleMania to fight Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar ran train through the entire Elimination Chamber and won the WWE title
Idiotic.
back, which is, was our nightmare scenario that we've been talking about for a bit here. And yeah. What else do we like? Anything?
Just no. I didn't like a single thing on that card. It was
Did you think
horrendous.
Alexa Bliss looked good? Did you like the little spot with Lesnar and Theory?
No.
No?
Hated every second of it.
The whole thing?
It honestly was not a good pay-per-view.
I thought Roman
if I
Goldberg
was-
was pretty good, but go ahead.
If I was Saudi Arabia, I'd be offended that I paid all that money for that.
Yeah. I mean, you got Roman Goldberg. I thought that match went pretty well. It was pretty much the exact length it had to be, and you got a nice little choke out for Roman, putting the legend to sleep, hopefully for good.
Just don't need to see that dinosaur on my screen.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, we all have our own opinions. I like the matinee type style, even though obviously for them it was a much different time because Saudi Arabia is in a vastly different time zone. But I digress.
I just think
You got to have a highlight. You got to give me something.
I can't. I've literally sat here and looked at this entire thing, and I really can't. The only highlight I can give you is Bianca Belair is getting her title shot. That's it. That's literally the only good thing that came from this. Because now we're getting title versus title, which is the stupidest thing ever. Which means Roman's going to win both titles, which he doesn't need
At all.
Then, on top of it, you have the Roman and Goldberg match. Just again, this was supposed to happen in WrestleMania. COVID, Roman got scared. Braun Strowman had to fit that void. They got that match, but it didn't. Anybody who was like, "Oh, this is a dream match," yeah, it would have been a dream match. And Goldberg's knees probably worked. Drew McIntyre, Madcap Moss, they just stopped. Please stop.
Madcap almost broke his neck.
For the love of God, please stop.
Did you see the scary bump from Madcap?
Mm-hmm. Just please stop.
That he later apologized for because he tucked his head when he was supposed to land on his face.
Yep. The Usos and the Viking Raiders ended in no contest.
That was trash. Imagine going all the way down to Saudi Arabia just to do half of an entrance.
Mm-hmm.
It did end rather shortly too. I thought the event was going to be a little longer, but I guess even in Saudi Arabia, they're trying to keep that 3:15 hour format. So I mean, surprise there.
The women's tag team match where Ronda had to wrestle with one arm tied behind her back. Like, come on, what year is this? We're doing this again?
Oh, Sonya had a hurt arm, and then the heel herself took it out and said, "Ooh, look at me, I'm fine, healthy, ready to go."
Mm-hmm.
I really am not looking forward to that match at WrestleMania, though, man. I can't get past that one. That one's tough.
No, I'm glad that Bianca Belair is getting her title shot back, but other than that, nothing good came out of this pay-per-view. Nothing, because now, what was the point of if you knew that Lashley was hurt, like Meltzer reported, why even get the title off of Brock? Why not strip Lashley and then not even bother putting Brock in the title match at the Elimination Chamber? What was the whole point of that? Nothing makes sense to me anymore with this creative writing team in WWE. Because this is literally how it goes. When in doubt, give Brock the belt. Brock's gonna break the record just based off hard time. We're screwed and we need you to win the title.
What is he up to now? 11?
I believe it's 12.
12. Oh, okay.
I will double check, but I believe it's 12.
Yeah, I think I still haven't 100% read, or I don't think we've heard 100% when Lashley was actually hurt. People seem to think it might have been at the Rumble from when he had his match with Brock, because I don't know if you guys remember those suplexes Bobby was taking, but they did not look great because he was literally just landing on his neck and shoulder the entire time instead of doing a full rotation. In his defense, though, he's probably not used to being tossed around as a heavyweight as he is. So, nope. Diego, what about you? Do you have anything you'd like to highlight or lowlight?
No, I agree with Jones a lot. This pay-per-view didn't have much to offer. Even some of the women's match, like I look at the card and the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Lita, like that was such a piss poor job done. I mean, on Lita's part, like a lot was shown. Like she still got it. She hasn't wrestled a match since I don't even know 2005, 2006 maybe. Has always carried her neck problems, much like Edge.
Mm-hmm.
So for Becky Lynch to target the neck, it is what it is. You got to target your opponent's weaknesses and all that stuff. But after that, she didn't really have much to offer. On Lynch's side, if anything, it's showing that she's still got a lot of ring rust to do. A lot of her capabilities are not in full display. And if it was to be a highlight match that will actually, set her in stone in her career and all that stuff, this match wasn't it. Like from an A to F grading, I give this match a C. and that's just me being kind. But other than that, I mean, I think if anything, that match was carried basically by Lita. It wasn't anything Becky Lynch that's special there. There wasn't a lot of theatrics that were special there. If anything, Lita's abilities to still be able to do, twist of fate, moonsaults, and all this stuff, like that's insane. It shows you the type of level that she carries herself. Usos versus Viking Raiders obviously did not happen. Bobby Lashley's versus Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins versus Riddle, Austin Theory, and all that stuff didn't impress me much, honestly. Nothing to desire there. We all knew Brock Lesnar was going to win that one, so that was just easy to predict. Just overall, this was a massive waste of time by WWE, and the time in the day of the weekend and all that stuff that it happened on is just brutal, absolutely brutal. It left so much to desire out of WWE.
So to go back on Lesnar, Legend's now a 10-time champion. He's won 7 of those since he's come back in 2014.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Hey,
Idiotic.
I mean, I'm still enjoying his run and his character work right now, but it just seems the Rumble was kind of pointless.
That's not the issue.
Yeah.
Like you said, the character work is fantastic. It's the fact that they panic and just immediately throw the title back on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, you could have literally had Seth win it. You could have had AJ win it. You could have had Riddle win it. You could have had literally any of those 3 win it, and you would have been fine.
Yep, I agree.
Now we get that jam-packed main event for probably night 2 though. Brock versus Bobby. I wish. I'm gonna dream. Don't you think they should make it a triple threat at this point though?
They have to.
If a guy like Lashley is healthy and his shoulder's fine, can't he just be like, yo, that was fucking jack shit. Put me in this thing. We've seen Brock, we've seen Roman just so many times. It's not for me, it's not exciting. Again, I've said it since what? December, doomsday scenario.
You said it earlier than that.
Probably. I just think you got to add an external factor to make it a little bit better. And Lashley has unfinished business with Roman, but I don't know, guys. I'm with you there. I enjoyed it for the most part. I thought some people had good performances. I thought Lita and Becky actually was a solid match for her not having worked in so long. But, it leaves a lot to be desired. And as we saw on Monday, not a whole lot happened. Lesnar kind of came out, was like, hey, look at me, champion versus champion now. Paul Heyman came out, tried to get in his head and tried to play some mind games. And he said, well, you're going to show up to SmackDown whether you like it or not. So now is Brock going to pull double duty? Is Brock only going to show up on SmackDown? What are you going to do with your 2 titles? And it's a whole
Can he literally just drop the title before WrestleMania?
See, that'd be cool. Again, say a guy like Lashley's healthy a couple weeks before and says, well, I never was eliminated from the Elimination Chamber, so I want a rematch. And then Roman can screw him. But then there's the false advertising that you have to deal with at WrestleMania, because the casual fan probably can see the title versus title match is a big deal. That's the other thing. As us, we would consider ourselves diehard, I'm sure. But, it's going to, I'm not excited. I think it's going to stink. That specific match, but we'll see.
I'm not thrilled by it. Not thrilled by it.
Other things going on for Raw, we had Edge offer an open challenge with a pretty good promo. He seems to be one of the better promos in the game. He's up there with probably Paul Heyman, in my opinion. He just said, WrestleMania, I've been around these since WrestleMania, I think it was 14. First match at WrestleMania 16, talked about TLC, talked about his match with Mick Foley, The Undertaker. He says he needs WrestleMania, but WrestleMania also needs Edge. AKA WrestleMania also needs an Edge. Cool. Play on words. Fun. Who do you think it's going to be? Because I think it's going to be AJ Styles.
It's going to be AJ Styles.
Yeah.
There's no one else it could be.
Yeah. People were saying maybe Finn, maybe Cody Rhodes if he's signing. I think AJ is your money match, and it helps launch AJ back into that main event type feel. Mm-hmm. Do you think AJ goes over if it is that match?
Yeah, for sure. He should.
Think so? Okay.
I mean, he just signed that big deal with them. He's getting now $3 million per year with WWE. This is his probably his last contract with any wrestling promotion. So he's due for another big title run like this.
What about you? What about you, Diego? What do you think?
Honestly, I think the feud is going to end up happening with Cody Rhodes, and we're going to get a really, really good storyline here. Kind of a transitional one, kind of where Edge kind of makes his way out of WWE finally, but Cody Rhodes transitions fully in. And this would be the perfect way to do it. Two very competitive athletes, very good on the mic, can deliver results, can deliver good content and all that stuff, as long as obviously Vince McMahon stays the hell out of the way of things, and WWE front office also stays the hell out of things. Other than that, the only other person that I would think would be ideal is probably AJ Styles, but other than that, I can't think of anybody else that would be an ideal open challenge for Edge at WrestleMania.
There's really nobody else that makes sense more than AJ.
Oh,
No,
I was
you're-
thinking another
No,
one was like
I mean the
Damian Priest,
only
but-
other person that someone made sense would have been, Keith Lee if he had stayed with WWE and if they had kept him. But of course, it's WWE and they always fumble the bag, and so therefore the guys now in AEW thriving and delivering.
There
We
was
got
some
Keith
stuff
Lee
that came out
rumors.
about Keith Lee that I haven't heard anyone follow up on it since, but there was apparently a source very close to him saying that if he's cleared to work in a ring, he should be cleared enough to like work out, because you can tell he's gotten a bit bigger since he's been away. So a lot of people are saying if you're able to work in the ring, you should probably work on your physique yourself and just drop some weight and make yourself a little safer, easier to move, because you can put some people in danger. So we'll see. And he was away last week for his honeymoon, allegedly. So we'll see if he pops up tonight or next week or on Rampage, but he hasn't been seen since that first match. So hopefully we don't get maybe Keith Lee just might be a little bit of a pain backstage, but I hope not, because the man has all the potential in the world. So we will see. You think there's any truth to that one, Jones, real quick off the top of your head?
A little bit.
Oh, it's two people
Little bit.
reporting it now, two places.
Maybe a
You
little
know?
bit. Maybe a little bit. But for the WrestleMania, I mean, right now there's 5 matches solidified. It's Edge's open challenge. You have Becky and Bianca, Charlotte, Ronda, Brock, Roman, and then as of this past Monday on Raw, the Mysterios are taking on Miz and a partner of his choosing.
Yep.
And I told you off air, Hahnemann, it's none other than freaking Logan Paul, baby.
Yeah, you did call that.
What a name.
It's
What
a big name for a
friggin'
show,
name.
man. If he gets some time, he can learn to pull his punches a little bit. I mean, the guy is a pretty good boxer. So if he can make it look pretty good.
You're telling me that this kid's not going to take an opportunity to promote his new energy drink on the biggest stage of them all in all of wrestling? Come on. It just made so much sense.
I hope he's in his gear and they have like a little stool in the corner for him when he gets tired and they have the energy drink there. Nice little shameless plug.
Yep.
And I mean, it's two safe bets. It's like look what the Miz and Morrison did for Bad Bunny last year, and Bad Bunny put in the work clearly. So hopefully Logan Paul. It's gonna be tough to follow that as the next celebrity to wrestle at WrestleMania. So hopefully he follows it decently, but we'll see, because Bad Bunny's gonna be. He might have the best match, in celebrity history. So
Correct.
Other WWE news before we jump into a little bit of Revolution talk. NXT this week, we solidified Dolph Ziggler versus Braun Breaker coming up at TakeOver WrestleMania weekend. I mean, it's cool seeing Dolph and Rude kind of being treated like a big deal in NXT again. Bobby Roode had quite the run there himself when it was the black and gold brand. Ziggler seemingly has a little bit of fire in there again, because he's kind of just been coasting, it seems, in the tag division. So, he's cutting some good promos, putting in some good work. Fresh opportunities. What do we think about that one? I think it's at the TakeOver card itself, but like it's not like a WrestleMania match. I was trying to pull that up, but my phone is not cooperating.
I will quadruple check. Hold on one sec.
In the meantime, Diego, no chance Breaker loses the title, right?
Oh, you never know. You never know. It's such a WWE thing to do, but I like it. I like seeing Ziggler working with some of the up and coming talent. I like seeing Breaker kind of pushing himself outside of his limits there. we both know that Ziggler is a product that can deliver whatever means necessary. So this is nice. I like it. But again, it's just more of the same of WWE, working old guard with the newer guard and hoping for the best. So it's just so repetitive at this point.
Can confirm it is set for NXT Stand and Deliver.
Yep.
The night on WrestleMania weekend.
Okay.
But also
whether
next week on NXT, it's going to be Ziggler and Rude versus Breaker and Ciampa.
Mm-hmm. Ciampa popped up on Raw too, just to kind of forward the storyline there, which was kind of cool. Even though he teamed up with Balor, which was like, if he's not, hopefully he's going to be involved in something after into WrestleMania rather than popping up in random tag matches. But you know, I mean, speaking of feuds that could be fresh, could be cool. If Cody Rhodes does find his way to WWE, well, we think it's just him, because Brandy seemingly is going to be doing other ventures. Who would you guys like to see him be in his first feud? Because it seems like it's shaping up. It's got to be a top tier singles match, marquee single match of Mania, right? So, what do we think?
It's going to be none other than Finn Balor. Too many New Japan ties. Both of them were leaders of the Bullet Club at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's the story writes itself, honestly, in my opinion.
I like that. Not who I would have picked, so that's a cool idea. For me, I think I'm still teetering, and I don't know. There could be like I would have said Shane McMahon a while back, but now he's not really there anymore. Probably not. There's rumors that Vince was allegedly going to step back into the ring this past week as well, even though he's 75. So there's a story for you there. Cody comes in, maybe wants to get the Rhodes name back, or could make a story out of that. Or you could just put him with a guy like Austin Theory. He's a McMahon guy. You'd want him to be in something a little bit bigger, maybe Priest and Cody. I just don't see much of a story there. So it's with the WWE Championship now being off the table, my hope for like a multi-man match in that capacity for Raw is off the table. So you got to see how it plays out. Maybe they'll save him for after Mania. Diego, do you have anyone in mind that you'd like to see him pair off with?
Yeah, I mean, I see much of the same of you guys. You know, I like the thought of Finn Balor. You know, maybe even Damian Priest, some of the other genres that you guys have mentioned. But me personally, I would like a little throwback here. I would like to see Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton paired up. Just gives it a little bit of substance there.
That's actually a great one.
That's a good one.
Depending on what Riddle's doing, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You know, with Riddle going on the single run that he's been going on lately, especially after Elimination Chamber, Randy Orton just makes so much sense to pair up with Cody Rhodes. We saw what they can deliver together when they were in WWE, and a lot of fans were intrigued with that storyline. So I would like to see those two. But other than that, I don't know. I wouldn't be against Austin Theory. I also wouldn't be against somebody like Ricochet as well. Wouldn't be against that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think another big thing that we have to look out for is definitely this upcoming week on Raw. You have the triple threat tag team title match between Alpha Academy, Riddle and Orton, and Rollins and Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
So that can help create some WrestleMania stuff as well.
Yep. But I mean, if we're to be, you know, really picking the actual partner here, I mean, we all know it could have been Neville from 305. So
Neville from 305.
He's popping up tonight with Pentagon versus House of Black on Dynamite, which might be the main event. Could be a good match. I don't know if he still has eye patch, but you know, I like the Cody and Randy Orton idea. For whatever reason, I didn't think of Legacy, and that was their whole thing. You know, because Randy Orton they're using Randy Orton to potentially launch him and DiBiase back in the day. So again, story writes itself. So I like.
You can have DiBiase come back for it.
I think he's like a gym teacher now. I don't think so. He has an admirable profession that's outside of wrestling now. So I don't.
That'd be fantastic.
I don't see
all of a sudden you just see Ted DiBiase come back.
You could see him. I mean, you could bring him in as Orton and Cody are kind of butting heads, and he can come back as try to be the peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
And then Orton could
Never know.
RKO him, or Cody could hit him with something.
As long as they don't, Jesus.
I know, I was trying to mute it, but I ran out of time.
As long as they don't make it more so of Cody has like the Stardust S character, like something like that, and it's just Cody. I'm all in on him coming back.
Mhm.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Vince allegedly sees him as a big deal as the first crossover star since he was a VP of AEW. So we'll see what they do with him. Hopefully it's not crap.
Hopefully.
But
We'll see.
Tough to get our hopes up after all we've been seeing and going through.
My
Speaking of
hopes for
AEW, though,
WWE are horrendous at the moment.
probably one of the least, I guess, the least amount of hype that I've felt about a WrestleMania so far in quite a while. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if the 2-night thing is starting to screw them over a little bit, but we'll see. Speaking of AEW, though, jumping into Revolution, that is in, I think it's a week from Sunday, actually, because, February's got 28
Next
days.
Sunday.
So
Next
it's a week,
Sunday,
week from this Sunday. Matches so far, we got the Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future shot at the TNT Championship. So far, we've got Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, and 10 of the Dark Order, with 2 more to be announced. There'll be 1 more that qualifies, probably a surprise. Speaking of surprises, could be Shane Strickland, who officially has signed with AEW as of today, also known as Isaiah Swerve Scott. So he'll be debuting imminently, and people have high hopes for him. So we'll see what happens there. I think he'd be a great surprise, just looking at that match. Also, which will be determined tonight, you got Jurassic Express versus 2 tag teams. They're doing a battle royal tonight on Dynamite to help figure out who is going to be in that match, but it's for the World Tag Team Championships. CM Punk versus MJF in the dog collar match. You got Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, which has been building for what feels like months now. If Rosa might
Even
win,
years.
man. Well,
Even
they had
years.
their when they were in. Am I way off when I think they were in that lights out hardcore match? It was them 2, right off top. Yeah. So if they can replicate anything close to that, it'll be great. And then obviously Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole, battle for the Atom. Of those 5, what do we think? Who do we want to see come out on top? Who do you want to see get a big moment? Top match you're looking forward to? What are we thinking so far?
I think it's going to be Page and Cole is going to be the best match on the card.
Mm-hmm.
With the Elite being barred from ringside, I think that adds a little bit of stipulation on it. But I also think the upset, like you said, I think Thunder Rosa is going to win. Rebel, Jamie Hayter, and Mercedes Martinez are all barred from ringside.
Right.
So it just makes you think that this would be the spot to give Thunder Rosa the shot here. Let Britt Baker take a step back, relax for a little bit, and then come back in 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
As a contender again.
Give her some well-deserved time off for carrying the division for so long.
Yeah.
Punk and MJF, I think it's still going to be good. The tag match is a little, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, anytime AEW does tag match, it's usually a banger. So it'll be interesting to see what 2 teams they pair up with them. I think the one that's going to steal the show, though, is probably the ladder match. Hopefully for once, because their ladder matches have been somewhat scattered in the past. But with seeing who's in that match right now and the potential for the other 2, it could be pretty good. My original guess was Keith Lee, but depending on how true these recent rumors are, it could not be him. Shane Strickland's another great option. Again, TNT Championship, not the World Championship, so it's kind of your mid-card title. Who would you like to see as that final one to qualify? Jones, Diego, anybody?
John Silver would be ideal, but we're not going to get that.
That'd be cool.
It'll be...
I don't think any qualifying match has been announced yet for it, unless there's one on tonight that I haven't seen.
There's one on tonight. It's
Ricky
Starks versus 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, correct. So, and then you probably assume that it's gonna. I said 10 earlier because I don't see both of Team Taz's guys being in there, but there you go.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I also think that surprise. I mean, is Jeff Hardy able to be at Revolution?
Allegedly, his no compete expires like 2 days after Revolution, so not quite.
Okay.
But that would be cool if there was something where one of something happened where maybe they could be in that tag match with Jurassic Express. That'd be cool.
I'm sure we're gonna get Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho at the pay-per-view as well.
They're coming face to face tonight as we record on this lovely Wednesday.
And then I think, really, I'm just trying to think of, because they just have so many guys that they could do.
Almost an abundance of riches, again, as we keep saying for them. They're just too much talent almost.
I think looking at the card, honestly, I was gonna say Sean Spears, but Wardlow's in it, so probably not. I did draw and blank.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Danielson Moxley is going to end up happening at Revolution, or if they're going to make that a slow type build, because I know they've been teasing their little feud. But that's, I know, I mean, you could make that match official the day before, and it'll still have some hype behind it.
They also might. I wouldn't be surprised if they just throw them together, and the next thing you know, they're in the AEW World Tag Team Title match.
Yeah, yep. I know that was the first thing that Danielson said. He was trying to get him to team up with him. Yeah. What about you, Diego? What do you think? What do you think for surprises? What are we going to get?
I mean, for surprises,
Or what do you want to see? Give us one of the other.
for surprises, personally, I mean, there's still a big name in the free agency out there, and his name happens to be Bray Wyatt. So that could be a surprise.
Mhm.
But for who I want to see in here, I don't know. I don't really know that I have anybody that I want to see in here. I mean, there's already Keith Lee, there's Wardlaw, there's Powerhouse Hobbs. So I don't know. I don't know who I would want to see personally in there. I think I do want to see another surprise just to add more talent onto the roster, because it's already so talented. Like, just at this point, like, continue pushing over the limit. Other than that, I really don't know. I really don't know who I want to see. I guess maybe dark horse candidate there could be, you guys were talking about having Danielson or Moxley in there. I think I would want to see Moxley in there just to add like a little flair onto that card right there. But other than that, I don't really know if I have anybody else who I want to see.
Yeah.
You know who's the name that showed up but really hasn't been on the cards since? It's Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about him. I'm literally looking at their roster at the moment because it's so freaking huge.
Yeah, see, Jay Lethal, it's a pretty, I mean, I know he's older now, but he's a pretty big name that they haven't featured too prominently. I think he's been on the YouTube shows a bit, maybe a little bit of Rampage. Also, I mean, the other one I was thinking of as we were just talking was Jay White. I don't know entirely what's going on there, because there's still some tension there between the Elite and all that.
I think he's helping Adam Cole win the title.
That's what I was going to say, because he's not part of the Elite, technically. So he could sneak in there because he's Bullet Club.
Yep.
I mean, it seems like it could be a pretty stacked card. I mean, for just these 5 matches already, it's pretty much like got that superpower, in my opinion, just because their division's so stacked. But it's like a takeover card already. It's 5 matches with a bunch of stars. They're going to put on a banger, and they're going to add a little bit more. Unfortunately, it's a Sunday, and they tend to like their pay-per-views to go rather late, so like 12:30. So that'll be a tough one for us older folks, pushing 30, 31, whatever we are these days, to get up the next day. But I'm excited for it. They deserve it. They're expecting probably a record pay-per-view buy again, which seems to just be a trend every time now. So
yeah, no, for sure. And
we'll see what that is.
And they're just trending in the right direction. They just have so many good things going for them at the moment that even with them losing Cody, they still haven't taken a big hit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's not even a TNT title match announced yet, or a TBS title match yet. Yeah. So that's another one you got.
Well, they're doing the TBS one on the card tonight, and
it's just the bunny though. It's like, it's cool. I'm glad she's getting an opportunity, but that's not your pay-per-view match.
Yeah, no, I understand. But don't forget, and this is a big one, at Double or Nothing, we're getting the final of the men's and the women's Owen Hart Cup tournament final. Yep. So that's also coming up too for AEW, which is a big thing.
Supposed to be starting right after Revolution, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Any closing thoughts or concerns, guys?
No, not really.
No? Unfortunately, we all weren't too big of fans of Elimination Chamber, but Another month seems like the main matches are solidified for WrestleMania. So hopefully we get some nice hype behind it. Maybe something original in our promos, but we'll see how WWE wants to go about it. Revolution to look forward to. And yeah, nothing at all, guys. Nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you ever find yourself unable to focus like you saw me at the beginning of this episode, don't forget to check out Shocked Energy. Podcast is also sponsored by Couch Guys Sports. And we'll see you next time. We'll see what we got to talk about next week.
Peace.